would have lingered, but they did not file for a pre-hearing, and so they did not follow due process. And because of that, their their petition was thrown out of the court.
Yeah, it was thrown out, but they are actually making an appeal now. But it was one of the most talked about election, in Nigeria, and one of the most free and fair. We know what happened during the course of the election. We saw how the PDP factions almost led, to a division in Edo State. Matthew Idoye was claiming to be the authentic candidate in Benin City, as well as Pastor Sagi Zeyamu, also from the PDP. And then we also had the APC, who had just one candidate of Gonabaseki coming out. And then from the other party, ABGA, it was Saro Naiwa, I believe. And then we also had the Labour Party, all, vying for the top spot. And eventually it was, the APC, according to INEC, who triumphed at the end of the day. Now, before we move over to the other election that occurred in the neighboring state, Ondo State, something else also happened in Edo State, just, in the space of a few weeks after the elections.
Actually, just after the elections, we had the coronation of the Oba of Benin, Oba Ere the second in Edo State, and this occurred between October 21 to October 20 to October 25th. It was a massive celebration that brought people from all walks of life into the state, and it was a major ceremony that went on for days. We had the ring road, as the King Square redecorated, and it saw a lot of festive celebrations. And after that, we saw tributes being paid by other kings from other areas. We had some states in the north coming to do the double dance for the Oba of Benin, and we had people coming from outside of the country to come celebrate the coronation of the Oba of Benin.
The vice president himself,
Yemi
Shibanjo, was present.
And then a few weeks later, we had the President Muhammadu Buhari come over. We also had Olusegun Obasanjo come visit, and so it was something that brought Edo State into the limelight. This state was most recognized last year, especially towards the end of 2016, because of the huge
festivity that happened.
First of all, the election, and then the coronation
of the Oba.
Yes, everybody was on the watch for it. It was an event that was broadcast live on TV, and everybody was watching. Those who couldn't make it down here, and it was much talked about.
And particularly in both events, KUFM was there live to cover and relay transmission back to the amazing listeners that we have in Edo State. Of course, the Oba of Benin did ask to be referred to as the 40th Oba of Benin, counting from Oromiya, from the Ogiso dynasty, and he definitely has proven to be one of the finest monarchs in the Edo kingdom. Oba Tokbe. Also, that something that happened again in 2016 was, of course, the electioneering process in neighboring state Ondo State. It started off with the PDP, bringing forth one particular candidate, Eita Jagade. After a series of primaries, he emerged victorious. But there were some other people who decided, to leave the party and go and set up a new political structure to contend with Eita Jagade. Also, from some would say from nowhere, somebody else named Jimo Ibrahim, I believe, came to actually say that he is a candidate or authentic candidate of the PDP. Not forgetting in mind, the APC also had their own issues with Rotimi Akeredolu squaring off against Olusegun Abraham and Olushola Oke. Olushola Oke himself also decided to leave the APC and join forces with another political party to fight for the seat of the governor in Ondo State. But at the end of the day, when the elections held in November, with
November 26th,
amidst the fracas that befell the PDP, in fact, they had to rely on the verdict of the court 2 days to the election.
A day. Yes.
To have the court prove that to sack Jimo Ibrahim as the candidate and reinstate Eita Jagade's name as the authentic PDP candidate to fly the flag of the PDP during the Ondo governorship election 2016, and we saw how that panned out.
Yes, we did see how it panned out, and it was an election that was quite important and had to be held because the current governor, in person of Olusegun Mimiko, his tenure is expiring February 2017, which is that's actually a month from now. And so it was quite important that this election had to hold. But then when we saw the tussle in the PDP, the factions of Markarifi and Sharif, which was actually a problem for the PDP last year, it actually did affect the candidacy of it actually did affect the chances of the PDP actually winning the election, with them not being able to decide who exactly it is that was going to come out and represent the party, still having issues hours to the election, not knowing whether to have the people didn't know whether to go for Jimoh Ibrahim, to clamor for him, or to go for the person of Eita Yojagede. So it was really a confusing period. It was quite a time. It was an interesting thing is they tried to push for the postponement of the elections, but according to INEC, this was not issues within the party was not one of the reasons why they would postpone an election. According to the law, that was not enough reason, so they had to go ahead with it any day. And the PDP had to just pull through what they have. With the PDP not being enough opposition for the APC, we just had Olushola Oke of the Alliance for Democracy. That was a person who initially was in the PDP and the APC, I beg your pardon, ran primaries there, lost to Rotimi Akeredolu, and so he moved, and from there he defected to the Alliance for Democracy, and then he came out as a governorship candidate. Rotimi Akeredolu was also up against Jimoh Ibrahim of the People's Democratic Party versus Eita Yojagede, also of the People's Democratic Party. And then we also had Olu Ogunloye of the Social Democratic Party. And with all these persons, Rotimi Akeredolu of the All Progressives Congress emerged the victor.
Fantastic stuff. It happened there. It was no surprise. It did cause a bit of a rancor in the APC community, so to speak, as eventually the national leader of the party, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, called for the resignation of the national chairman, Oyegun, who apparently right now there are speculations he may be given an ambassadorial role so he could quickly move away from the top seat in the APC. And some are pointing fingers at the former governor of Edo State, former governor Oshomole, as his soon-to-be replacement. That is still sketchy as of now. But then again, that was how the elections did pan out in neighboring state Ondo State.
Yes, and that was not the only election that held last year. We also saw the Rivers
rerun.
Yes, a Rivers rerun election, and election that they were calling for the cancellation, and subsequently another rerun election. And this election was one that ended up bloody. It didn't go very, how do I put it now? It didn't go smoothly like it did in the Edo State. It saw a lot of bloodshed and loss of lives of some persons. This election held on the 10th of December 2016, and we had the PDP coming out to reject the results for areas that the APC won, and we had APC coming out to do the same, rejecting and calling for the cancellation of the areas that the PDP won. There was so much went down. There was the adoption of call members, about 16 of them on that same day, snatching of ballot boxes. But good thing the coppers were found and they were released. But then we had Wiki coming out to say that they had seen the security agencies who they expected to be on their side or actually protect the people, ending up going to stand with the opposition party. And so come 2019, they're going to make sure that these security agencies know that they can do without them, and that so far he's going to make sure that they no longer pay this police security agencies. They will no longer be under the watch or the guidance of the government, but they would now go to the NDDC for their payments and their dues, whatever it is they feel is entitled to them. The NDDC will be in charge of their welfare from there on. And we don't forget that this was the same election that triggered that brought about the hacking of the phone of the tapping of the phone of the Nyesom Wike, where controversial statements or comments were made about him threatening some INEC officials, and he did come out to say that yes, he did say this, but he gave his reasons why he did say why he said or made such comments, and that was a very, very interesting election as far as I'm concerned.
Of course, it also did play out in a way that was detrimental to the lives of people and properties, as unfortunately, which is also the talk of the town right now, and a lot of people talking about it. At one point in time, there was an emergence of a tape, actually, putting the governor of Rivers State in a light that showed him threatening to kill someone if the elections didn't go his way. And there was also the sad development of the loss of lives. Apparently, a DSP, Akali, actually lost his life during the course of that particular election. He was ambushed, and
yes, he and his orderly,
and Yeson Wiki has accused or made allegations that, of course, the APC government was responsible for that attack or perpetrating such a dastardly act in Rivers State. Keep in mind, just before the beginning of the rerun election, his police orderly was withdrawn from him, and it did lead to Ayodele Fayose, the governor of Ekiti State, to say there was actually a threat to the life of the governor, and that people should take note.
Yes, and then I remember we had Fayose coming out to say, in reaction to all of its tappings, that it was illegal what was being done, that this tapping of the phone, and he, of course, was not facing the issue or whatever it is that Wiki said, but he was saying that the tapping of the phones was just a distraction by the federal government, employed by the federal government to distract Nigerians from the problems that were on ground, to distract Nigerians from the steps and the moves that were being made by the federal government. And so we will now focus on what has been said by these persons whose phones were tapped, rather than what the government is doing. And so, as far as he's concerned, the president should face what matters and not go about tapping people's phone. People are hungry, and instead of him to be facing that and taking care of Nigerians that are complaining and putting policies in place, that were busy tapping phones of top persons, and they were, as far as he's concerned, it was just illegal.
Yes, and that is how that played out, and we're still looking forward to more reports emerging from Rivers State. And away from all of that, though, let's take our minds back to the early parts of this year. Before the elections, before the electioneering process, before all of that, there was something that was in the minds, embedded in the minds of a number of people, a number of us, and that was the term which will go on down will stick in our minds for a long time to come. And apparently it was new to a number of us, but now it is a recurrent term: budget padding. Apparently this came to bear when the chairman of the Appropriations Committee of the National Assembly, specifically the House of Representatives, Abdulmumin Jibrin, was actually sacked from that position as the chairman. And he came out to give make some allegations that a few principal officers, as well as some key members of the House of Representatives, had successfully padded the budget 2016. He made mention of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, Halassan Yusuf, the Deputy Speaker, Leo Ogo, the Minority Leader, and a host of other persons in the House of Representatives. And a number of people did talk about the fact that, budget padding was new to them, and, it was highly contentious who was actually saying the right thing. At one point in time, the APC decided to settle this issue amicably, and they sent for Abdulmumin Jibrin and Yakubu Dogara, and they both arrived, and there was a talk of that, or an agreement, so to speak, that there should be the squash of media talking, or media or both men actually talking to the media as regards this particular issue. But apparently Jibrin did not heed the advice. Apparently he came out to say that he decided to renege on his promise when he noticed that Yakubu Dogara was then talking to the media about him and making some allegations he felt were untrue. And by and large, at the end of the day, though, it came down to the fact that, Abdulmumin Jibrin claimed that about 40 billion was somehow padded in the 2016 budget.
Yes, it's quite interesting. He also talked about how much each of these persons got, and how much he got, and what he supposedly did with the money. And if you remember, he got suspended for 180 sitting days because of this whistleblowing, which he seemed to not stop. And there were a lot of comments concerning this, and he was pretty much how do I put it now? He was pretty much the enemy of the house, even though he was in the house. And at the time, they had to call for a sit-in in which he said that if he was going to show up, they would want an open hearing where everybody, including the media, can actually be present. And then it would be a public hearing. People would get to listen to what he has to say. And this was granted, but Adumomin did not show up in court. And so at the end of the day, what we saw was a suspension for 180 sitting days. And ever since then, he has been on suspension and still is. And interestingly, concerning whistleblowing, towards the end of the year, there was a law that was now passed out that there will be a 5% cut, a 5%, or how do I put it now, interest or reward. Yeah, that's it. 5% reward for anybody who does a whistleblowing in Nigeria, provided the person is coming out to say specifically something that the security agencies do not know. The person's coming out to give information about some corrupt person, and information that the police or the corruption of crime fighting and anti-corruption agencies do not know about. And then if that be the case, whatever money is recovered from this said corrupt person will be given 5% of it will be given as a reward to that whistleblower. And that was quite a very interesting one there. It seemed to be just a way to encourage people to come out and say the truth that they know. But an interesting thing about the case, like I pointed out on Monday, was that if indeed the president came out talking about budget padding, came out to say when he was talking about the 2017 budget that the 2017 budget will not be padded like the 2016 budget. That is an indirect statement saying it is possible that indeed there was some sort of budget padding. And if that be the truth, why then is Abdulhamid Jibrin still on suspension? That means he was saying something
days.
For 180 days. If the president comes out to say, I will make sure that the budget of 2017 is not padded like 2016. That is a confirmation to what Abdulhamid Jibrin has said, and that now makes the suspension of Abdulhamid Jibrin for 180 sitting days questionable.
It does, and especially as a lot of people, even top lawyers, did come out to say that there was no such thing like a budget padding, but
it's basically just an economic legislative term.
That was the talk mostly, but now we have a better understanding of that particular term. But away from that, now let's look at the negative things that happened in Nigeria besides the corruption allegations and all of that. Yes, during the course of 2016, some things did happen besides the insurgency and the militancy. According to Bloomberg, the ratings for Nigeria in the economy did drop as South Africa did surpass Nigeria as one of the biggest economies in Africa, even though Nigeria did manage to topple South Africa yet again. But unfortunately, we have apparently hit a recession, and we're trying to fight ourselves, try to sustain ourselves and not go into a depression. And the current situation of things right now, as it is all this happened just around the period where, the price for crude dropped to an all-time low of around $38 per barrel. Also, there was the forex, the waving of the forex, the fluctuation of the forex, where dollar that used to be as low as 150 naira to a dollar was now moving from 150 to 199, and then it shot up to around, according to the business report this morning on News Dawn, it is now 493 naira to a dollar. And that is pretty much a very, very sad development as regards the forex. And there was also a lack of forex, even though, the amount was quite huge. There was apparent lack of forex in the country, and this was causing a big issue in Nigeria. Commodities were skyrocketing. A lot of things were had to come by, and there was the emergence of the president's cabinet, the economic team led by Yemi Osinbajo, the vice president, to actually deal with this problem, the recession.
Yeah, well, it was quite a challenge for us last year. We saw the price of things go up. We saw borders being closed in order for us to look into the country and start producing some more. We first had the issue of the TSA, all the monies within the government agencies and government parastatals being mopped up into one particular account. And then that was when we started seeing a problem in the economy. It started from there. other political steps, economic policies were put in place and other economic actions were taken. And before we knew it, we found ourselves in a recession. In a bid to get out of a recession, we have the president coming out to apply for rights for the approval of a loan for us to borrow $29.9 billion US, the highest ever Nigeria has borrowed. Yes, over the years and in every administration, in every single year. There's no year we've not borrowed. For the past 10 years, we've borrowed consistently for every year, and we had a lot of debt to service. But this was an amount of money that shocked pretty much every Nigerian. And then we had the Senate throw out this request because they felt that it was not carry enough. It was not a comprehensive. They didn't have enough comprehensive information. They didn't have the necessary documents, and the team had to go back again to see how they can represent this application for a loan. And maybe this year, 2017, they just might go back to the Senate again to seek approval to borrow this much. But I'm interested to know that this loan is the largest we've ever borrowed. And what's the plan, according to the president, to pay this loan is such that it will extend for the next 30 years, meaning it will be a loan that, if approved, future administrations and future Nigerians will have to feel the effect and try to do all they can to pay. It will leave us in a very, very high position, strong position of heavy debt servicing in years to come. And that's pretty much it.
And, of course, to wrap up the review of the year 2016, another big issue which a lot of Nigerians faced was the removal of subsidy during the month of May. And this was quite hard on Nigerians, especially during the course of the recession, as the price of petroleum, PMS, actually shot up from around 89 naira 50 kobo to 145 naira. This statement was this decision was taken around the month of May and mid-May, and the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachiku, said that Nigeria would be able to save as much as 16 billion from this development. And apparently during the course of the month of November, he also came out to announce that yes, Nigeria has been able to save, since the subsidy was removed up till November, Nigeria had been able to save 15.4 billion naira. And we're still trying to find out the benefits of this removal of the subsidy. Some say it has saved Nigeria some amount of money, but then we're wondering how the monies that are in the coffers of the government are being used. And there's so much talk as regards misappropriation of funds, and the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration is trying hard to fight and clamp down on corruption and corrupt elements. But the talk has always been about not just fighting corruption, but fighting corruption holistically. Anyhow, this is how we quickly and accurately wrap up our review for the year 2016. It's about time where we get to have your views and your contributions on this show, the review of the 2016. Now, I advise you to call the number 0706-263-9275 or call 0903-939-4427. You can also send us an SMS on 0807-400-9076. We're also live on social media. Twitter is KUFM Nigeria. Facebook is facebook.com/KUFM Nigeria.
Dear caller, KUFM appreciates your contributions and comments on its platforms.
Thank you. Far too kind.
We would ask that in making your contributions, desist from personal attacks or insults on other individuals or callers. Do not insult the sensibilities of other individuals. Endeavor to stop discussion without diversions. Be constructive rather than destructive. All good opinion counts. Make your comments brief and straight to the point. We will not tolerate insults or personal attacks on others. This is in order for us to serve you better. Thank you as you obey these rules. Remember, every caller is a presenter talking to an audience. Don't just be a caller, become a good one.
Hello, good morning to you.
Thank you for picking my call.
Thank you, Mr. Sonny.
I'm calling from airport, thank you.
All right, please go ahead.
You guys just brought 2016. If you won't give me a no the whole year today, analyze it.
Yes.
What you guys analyze in less than 20 minutes. God continue to strengthen you guys.
Amen. Thank you.
There's one guy I call the chief whip of KUFM. I'm sure he has stressed that issue about the Ondo issue.
Yes.
He has talked about it over and over and over again. Honestly, if you look at the situation in Nigeria, you don't even know where to start from. When you put your analyze and say, which one can one stand from in all this matter?
Yes.
I think the best we can do as a nation, we should take them one after the other.
True.
And do not try to look away and say this one does not matter. Because one of the things that has destroyed our political situation in Nigeria is this lack of respect for the rule of law, eternal democracy, and we are not patient when it comes to when somebody differ in view. You understand? Okay. Somebody did not like, may not agree with you, just like the issue that me and Chief Oyego is going through right now.
Yes.
The guy may look young, but the scripture says that he said the children, we should obey our parents so that our day may be long, we may enjoy the benefit. And he said, parents, provoke not your son to anger. I think that even though we think that, some guys are too young to talk to elders, I think that elders can look for a way to ensure that don't provoke your children to the extent where they won't begin to say things that they didn't mean to say.
All right.
And my discomfort right now for PDP is the fact that they are not helping me in Nigeria. Because if the way they are doing, and that's how APC was doing, PDP would have continued to be in power even now.
True.
You understand? We need a formidable opposition party who will be able to put APC in check. Where they are not doing well, they should say they are not doing well. The aspect of the 239 billion or 30 billion you talk about that the government was going to borrow,
yes.
And I'll tell you, maybe these people now, the APC administration did not lobby the lawmaker, or it didn't settle there, or it didn't say this will be your court. If not, they would have approved the money without anybody hearing about it. If you look at what is going on in Ondo State right now, did you see anybody going to court? Right. Did you see what Mimiko said? It blew my mind when he spoke as though it's Obama that was talking America, that they will ensure that there is smooth transfer of power to power. You understand? I was impressed. Even though which you need to begin to learn from the West, the kind of thing they are doing. But the issue in Rivers State, I sent a SMS this morning, or the SMS was not read.
Okay.
Rotimi Amechi is the man that I've always liked. I've never liked Wunke, but in this Rivers State issue, two of them should be held responsible because they have over-politicized the situation in Rivers State, because at the end of the day, they are so protected that nobody in their family or close to them has died, except those in the outside. So I don't know if there can be a legislation to either remove a sitting governor from office or punish him while he's in the office. We don't have to wait until immunity is over, because two of them are involved. Rotimi Amechi and Wike, they should be held responsible. I think I'd like to leave my thoughts there so that others can contribute. Thank you for today, and God continue to bless you people.
Thank you, Mr. Sonny. Thank you very much.
So much. And, quite apt what he said there as regards how that panned out in Ondo State. But let's get more calls.
Yes,
Hello?
Of course. Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning to you. Welcome. Hello?
My name is Dennis.
All right. So where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Springfield.
All right. Please go ahead. Let's hear you out.
Another year right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's breaking. Please
we'll have to let you go. Try to call back though. This time, call the number 0903-939-4427 or 0706-263-9275. We do have an SMS on the SMS platform, a couple actually. This one reads: Nigerian government does not know how they are governing this country. They are not planning for the future generation. Denny's from Sapler Road. All right. We've got more coming through. This is actually not for this program. Let's get another call.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome. What's the name?
Yes, my name is Augustus. I'm calling from Ibudo community in Delta State.
All right, please go ahead.
Yes, I want to speak on Right Honorable Jibril and budget padding.
Okay.
Now that it is extremely clear to Nigerians that the budget was actually padded, and they actually spoke out the truth, my suggestion on behalf of the right Nigerians is that guy should be recalled back to the office and be given national award. He spoke the truth. Yes, that is my submission this morning.
All right, thank you. Should be given an award.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Let's see if we can get a few more calls before we wrap up. Remember, this is Open Mic Friday. More opportunity for more callers to contribute. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is the Field Marshal here with Open Secret.
Open Secrets, please go ahead.
Thank you. First of all, I want to welcome our brother back, Professor Stanley from Budu.
All right.
A very long time, over a year, I didn't hear his voice again. I thought he traveled overseas.
Okay.
So if he's still listening, I welcome him back, and I like his contribution.
Right.
So I also want to use the opportunity to his line that Jubilee should be called back and give you a national award because he said the truth. I don't know why we are always fighting the truth in this country, and that is why the country seems to be in quagmire. So we must maintain the truth so that Nigeria will move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning. Hello? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome. What's the name, please?
Yeah, of course, I'm calling from Benin.
Oh, welcome. Please go ahead.
Yeah, we Nigerians, and this is our time. We need to, always stand by the truth.
Okay.
Like our president, Muhammad Buhari. Most time his comment, he's scaring the Western people from us. Because it's not good for a president, a city president, to be saying that all Nigerians are corrupt. Because if you, as a president, is saying Nigerians are corrupt, don't you think to scare foreign investors from this country? You scare them because you can't just say your people are corrupt. Like what Fela said in a song.
Okay.
But how can a sitting president be saying my people are indisciplined, my people are senseless? As a city, even in America.
Okay. Hello.
In America, the city president cannot say the people are corrupt or the people they are bad and all that. You have to portray your people in a positive direction. Let the world know that we have good people in this country, so that they will have trust in this country.
Okay.
Look at our economy is going down, everything is going down. Our president it's hard time. Our president feeds this country. People are suffering. That's why he's there. He should do something about the situation of this country. That's my take on this morning.
All right, thank you so very much. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you. Welcome. What's your name?
This is David Dennis on the line.
All right, David Dennis, please go ahead.
Yes, I don't know whether it's our people comment on those events that happened during the week.
All right.
Yes. Like, I want to comment the governor in this state for stopping the secretary in this state and said that he wants to find another modality to be collecting the funds. I want to support him to bring more in the right way to collect secretary in this cinema police. But one thing I want to say now, this morning now, there are some people that come back to collect secret and rather offer to look for those. And they have that from us society. So I just have also put it in just under civil and honor. Nigeria don't want to. Because the truth now, they now suspended him. And this is something that says a party corruption. So, Mr. President, if he said that it's party corruption, those people that is in the cabinet, like the secretary to government and the SCC chairman, who always arrest people that are corrupt. Those that said that it's an agreement. It's not a dictator to people before he will be talking about corruption. They just have a
All right, thank you so much for your contribution. And it's about 5 minutes before we wrap up on Dialogue for today. So let's quickly squeeze in 1 or 2 more calls before call it today.
All right. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Very good morning. Welcome. What's the name, please?
Yeah, my name is Frank, and I'm calling from Bowen.
Welcome, Frank. Please go ahead.
This country, I don't really know where we're heading to it.
Okay.
So, a liter of diesel sells for 275 naira. I mean, where are we going to in this country?
Okay. Hello.
I guess
that was
just
a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And the last call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome. What's your name, please?
Thank you very much for taking my call.
Welcome. Please, what's your name?
This is Mr. Clement from Ohoro House.
All right, please go ahead.
I want to quickly look on the issue of pardon.
Okay.
From the presidential official statement, they have made us to understand that the 2015 budget was padded from some official statements the presidents have made.
Okay.
And this has, from all this indication, yet to understand that Dogare is still being unpunished. And Jubilee is being sacrificed. He's being sacrificed and used as a scapegoat for simply that he came out to voice out the truth that the budget was added.
All right.
So it really bothers me that when I see someone look at the truth and is being punished for saying the truth.
Okay.
Like this suspended for a period of time on the sitting. What I'm trying to say, we should be called back and be given, just as our fellow man here has said, that you should be honored for being able to speak out, have the courage to speak out. It is a very good decision if they take it. And secondly, I want to also look on the issue of the borrowing that the federal government wanted to borrow. We are not going to borrow to start feeding or clocking the people. The borrowing is to stimulate the economy of the nation. That is what the presidency is trying to look into. How to stimulate the economic of the nation, because the economic of the nation is being crumpled because of the recession. So that is my take on the issue. So we should understand why he wants to borrow.
All right, thank you
very much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your clarification on the issue. But it's about time we'll wrap up on Dialogue for today. And we did do the review of 2016, not all, but some of the very important key issues that happened in the year 2016.
Because if you recall, one of the issues that also occurred was the arrest of the DSS arrest of judges.
Yeah,
that was also another. There were so many of them, but we just had to take a few. But all the same, thank you for listening. And of course, tomorrow there'll be Dialogue Extra, which is always social, dealing with socio-economic and family issues right here at the same time. Although less intense, but also equally interesting. My name is Christabel.
My name is Augustus. Good morning.
Good morning.